In this video, we're going to look at topic 33, example 4, multiply a trinomial and a binomial. Part A, how can you use a table to find the product of x squared plus 2x minus 1 and 3x plus 4? What we're going to do is quite similar to what we did in example 2, where we created these tables to multiply our numbers. Before we had a binomial times a binomial, now we're looking at a trinomial times a binomial. So if we have x squared plus 2x minus 1, and we want to multiply that by 3x plus 4, there's a couple different methods you can use. You can use the distributive method. That gets sometimes a little unorganized. So what we're going to do is we're going to use a table. So I have a 3 by 2 here, so I'm going to create a table that is 3 by 2. And then across the top, I'm going to use my x squared, my 2x, and my negative 1. And then on the left side, I'm going to write 3x and a positive 4. So the x squared plus 2x minus 1 went there, and the 3x plus 4 is right there. All right. From here, you're going to multiply into each box. So this box here would be 3x times x squared. So that's going to be 3x cubed, right? Because x has a 1 here. So we add up the exponents. This box here, we're going to do 2x times 3x. Remember, there's an exponent there, so 2 times 3 is 6. X times x will be x squared. All right, here, we're going to look at negative 1 times 3x. That's a pretty easy one. We'd have negative 3x. And now we complete the next row. So we're looking here. That's going to be x squared times 4. So we get 4x squared. 2x times 4 would go here. So 2 times 4 would be 8, and then the x comes along. And then finally, we have negative 1 times 4. And that's going to be negative 4. All right, from here, we want to look to combine any like terms. So I'm going to write all my terms out. I have 3x cubed plus 6x squared. Actually, you know what? Let's highlight them first. Let's be a little more organized. So notice that the 6x squared and the 4x squared are the same, or like terms, not the same, they're like terms, and the negative 3x and the 8x. So 3x cubed plus 6x squared minus 3x plus 4x squared plus 8x minus 4. All right, the 3x cubed has no like terms, so that's going to just drop down. We already said that the 6x squared and the 4x squared are like terms, so we're going to add those up. So 6 plus 4 would be 10, and then x squared. And then we have negative 3x and positive 8x. So negative 3 plus 8 would be a positive 5x minus 4. So this would be our polynomial. And again, we've mentioned it a couple times, but notice that a polynomial times a polynomial gets you another polynomial. Right. So the table method is a pretty useful method. Some students definitely prefer this. It's a very good way to stay organized. Otherwise, you do wind up with a lot of terms, especially when you're multiplying binomials and trinomials or trinomials times trinomials. So you do want to stay organized, and it'll help you avoid simple mistakes. Now, in part B, they ask us how is multiplying a trinomial by a binomial like multiplying a 3-digit number by a 2-digit number. So this is similar to, I believe, example 1. If we go all the way back, nope. Example 2, where we talked about kind of this here. It's a different setup, but you might be familiar with doing things like this. So we have 312 times 24, which you can rewrite. Well, let me give myself a little more space there. Which you can rewrite as 312 times 24. All right, and you may have seen it written out this way. So what you would do is you would take the 4 and multiply it by the 2, the 1, and the 3, right? So you get 8. 4 times 1 is 4. 4 times 3 would be 12. And then we have a placeholder for 0 because we're multiplying by the tens unit now. So now so that was the 4. times each one of those. Now we're going to look at the 2 times each one. So 2 times 2 is 4, 2 times 1 is 2, and 2 times 3 is 6. And then from here we would add these two up. So you'd have 8, 8, 4, and 7. So our answer of 312 times 24 would be equal to 7,488. Again, maybe you've seen this method, maybe you like this method. If you don't worry about it. If you do, feel free to use it. So now we can apply this same type of concept, the same process, to 3x squared, sorry about that, to 3x squared plus x plus 2 times 2x plus 4. Again, this is just a way to help you stay organized. So we have 3x squared plus x plus 2 and 2x plus 4. And we're going to multiply those. So we're going to use, we shouldn't really use an x, but we're going to use multiplication here. You can do the same thing. So you take this 4 and you're going to multiply it by each of the terms up top. So 4 times 2 would be 8. 4 times x, so that's a positive 8. 4 times x is a positive 4x. And 4 times 3x squared would give you 12x squared. So again, it's just an organizational tool. All right, so that would be the 4 being distributed. Now if I take the 2x and I want to multiply the 2x in, 2x times 2 is 4x. So what you want to do is you want to line these up. So that's going to go here. We don't really need a number here. If you want to put a 0, you can. But that 2x times 2, I want to line up my like terms. 2x times x would be 2x squared. And then 2x times 3x squared would be 6x cubed. And now I can take these terms and I can add them up, or these expressions and add them up. So we got 6x cubed, 14x squared, 8x plus 8. Now, the key for this and the benefit of this is that notice how your like terms were already lined up. Right? So we didn't have to worry about kind of finding them or marking them. It allowed us to set this up in a very organized format. It does take up a little bit more space, but sometimes that's what you have to be willing to do to be more organized. Right. So you have the choice. You can use a table like we did in part A. You can use this kind of vertical looking method for part B. Both of them are organizational tools that will help you. I suggest picking one of the two methods and kind of sticking with that. Most students prefer the table method. They're just a little bit more familiar with it. But this vertical method will help you stay a bit organized as well.